Hello guys, welcome to Quick English Fix. My name is Emily, and I've been learning English for more than 20 years now. I am not a teacher, I'm a fellow student, just like you, who had a huge dream of learning English and using this language to accomplish my goals in life. In this video, I want to share some tips that helped me along the way. Tip number 1 actually comes from the Soviet style of teaching English, because this is the style that was used in my school. And you start with learning common words and phrases. Start by learning everyday words and simple phrases that people use all the time. The basic ones are greetings, hello, how are you, great to meet you, all the numbers, 1, 2, 3, common verbs, eat, go, sleep, basic questions like what's your name, where are you from, and then you learn topics. Everyone who went to a school in post-Soviet countries know that topics in English were super important. This is what everything was based on, and every month, at least in our school, was dedicated to a specific topic. And honestly, I am so grateful for that because when I came to the US, I knew how to talk about history, theater, music. I knew the history of the US, and I needed that knowledge to apply for my American passport. So these topics are really important. What are they? Family, daily life, animals, food, work, studies, hobbies, clothes, house, and the other topics that I mentioned, they're more complicated. By studying topics, you study the words that are important for your life. For example, think about your family. What family words do you need? Maybe mother, brother, sister, daughter, husband. Learn these words first. Then think about your life every day. What do you do every day? Brush your teeth, commute, you go shopping. Think about your life and learn these words. It's good to learn weather words too. People talk about the weather a lot. I have a whole video on small talk, so make sure to watch it. Learn these types of weather words. The weather is amazing, or it's raining. Oh my God, we need water here in California. I'm a bad actress, okay? Anyways, tip number 2, basic grammar, and again, comes from Soviet schools. I am actually so glad I went through that schooling system, because it paid so much attention to foundations and basics, and when it came to grammar, we could study one tense for weeks and months, until everyone in the class was perfect, and you don't need to know all the tenses at once. Start with the basics. Present simple. I live in Silicon Valley. I don't work in an office. We use present simple for things we do regularly, and words like always, every day, on Mondays can indicate present simple. Past simple. I lived in St. Petersburg. I went to work every day. We had an office in the center of St. Petersburg. We use past simple to talk about the past. Yesterday, last week, 2 months ago, in 2023. Future simple is another great tense to know. I will live in Los Altos Hills. I will not work in an office, or I won't work in an office. We use future simple to talk about the future. Tomorrow, next week, in 2026. Also, practice a lot and learn how to ask questions. This will help you a lot in conversations. Try to say a sentence and then ask a question about it. I live in Silicon Valley. Where do you live? I won't work in an office. Will you work in an office in the future? Understanding grammar helps you make correct sentences and feel more confident. By the way, you can learn basic grammar during a course called From Elementary to Intermediate. The course lasts for 7 weeks. It has 30 lessons, and it covers all the important rules for topics such as articles, tenses, passive voice, conditional sentences, and more. Over 160,000 students from 80+ countries across the globe have taken LinguaTrip courses. Here is what one of our students say about this particular course, From Elementary to Intermediate. Her name is Polina. And she wrote that the course had a lot of useful information, new vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and grammar. She recommended the course especially for beginners. Lyudmila says that the course gave her a great start in learning English. She started learning English with great pleasure and without any difficulties. Let's move on to tip number 3, and that is practice speaking. And this is something I actually lacked in my school, so we're great in theory, but all of the teachers, they were Russians, so we didn't have a lot of exposure to the English-speaking environment. And I think for the first 8 years, they would still use Russian to explain us topics in English, and then we will practice. But in the last 3 years, we had the most amazing teacher who told us, you cannot speak any other language except for English in this class. And this is how we started using English more. So if you can create those days or hours where you just speak English, that would be perfect. And don't wait until you have perfect grammar. Try to speak every day, even if it's just a few words. You can talk to yourself in English, something I used to do a lot because I wanted more practice. For example, oh, I'm making tea for myself, a nice cup of tea. Practice with a friend or a language partner. You can repeat what you hear in movies or TV shows. You can talk to AI, chat, GPT, whatever. When you speak every day, you feel more confident using English. Tip number 4, listen to English as often as you can. Music in English, podcasts. My favorite podcasts in the world right now are, of course, Silicon Valley Girl. That's my podcast. Watch English TV shows. I highly recommend The Apprentice, something I'm watching right now. It's about Donald Trump's youth and how he was affected by his lawyer. I think it's great to know stories of leaders of this world, and I use subtitles to get familiar with pronunciation and rhythm. Another thing that you can do is listen to English songs, open lyrics, and try to sing along so you can hear the words and how people actually pronounce them. There are different podcasts. There is a website called podcastenglish.com. You can choose the beginner's level. There is Essential English. It also has a beginner's section and many other websites. But what I would highly recommend is finding podcasts on topics that you love, because it makes it a whole different experience when you listen to something that you're genuinely interested in. And I know at first it's going to be really difficult to understand everything. So really watch the podcasts when you see someone really opening their mouth and you have subtitles on YouTube. It makes it easier to understand. And when I miss something, I just always pause, go back and listen to the phrase once again. Tip number 5, read simple texts. Reading is very important because this is how you learn new words and grammar. And good options for beginners are, yes, children's books. And you will be surprised. My kids are 5 and 3, and I read them books in English and in Russian. And sometimes I read a book in English, and I'm surprised that there are so many words I actually don't know because we didn't learn them at school. For example, I didn't know what a dragonfly was until I knew what a dragonfly was. I didn't know the English word for it. And when I started reading children's books for Emily, I was like, oh, dragonfly. Interesting. And there are other insect names or different adjectives that people use when they describe children's books characters. And it's amazing what it does to your language. So start with simple books and fun stories. There are also news articles for beginners. Websites like BBC Learning English have easy news articles. There's also graded readers, books designed for different levels of English learners. Try reading out loud to practice pronunciation. And believe me, this is a whole new skill. When I start reading out loud, I suddenly realize that there are so many words I don't know how to pronounce because they're complicated, because I see them for the first time. And you're like, oh, when you start reading out loud, you also start to think about pronunciation, because when you're just quietly reading, you're not thinking about the pronunciation. Tip number 6, use flashcards for vocabulary. Learning new words is easier when you review them often. Flashcard apps like Anki or Quizlet help you remember vocabulary with pictures and audio. Here's how you use them. You look at the English word and try to remember the meaning and translation. You say the word out loud. You repeat it several times during the day, and you can do quizzes at the end of the day. You can actually put stickers around your house with all the words that you're learning. So the more you see and hear a word, the better you'll remember it. Tip number 7 is something that a lot of people are striving for, and that is thinking in English. Train your brain to think in English instead of translating everything from your native language. Start with describing things around you. The sky is blue. This curtain is blue. This girl is beautiful. I like her vibe. So, start thinking about your day in English. I woke up. I ate breakfast. Make simple to-do lists in English. Today I need to do this. Buy apples, buy bananas, buy apple stock, etc. Tip number 8, write a little every day. When you write, you remember new words and grammar better. You can keep a small journal and write about your day. Write short messages to friends in English. Describe pictures or objects in simple sentences. And you can always ask ChatGPT to check what you've written or said, and it will give you detailed feedback. Tip number 9. Mistakes are fine. They're absolutely fine. Native speakers make them all the time. Yes, it's kind of sad if you make a mistake during a test, but it's absolutely fine if you make mistakes throughout your life and during the day. And this is how you learn. That's the only way to learn. And the more you practice, the better you will get. Every mistake is a chance to learn and improve. And tip number 10, practice as much as you can. Try to practice a little every day. Even 10 minutes is helpful. Practice makes perfect. If you could set a timer, every Monday I review something I've learned. Every Tuesday I learn grammar. Every Wednesday I listen to a podcast. Make it a habit. Put it in your calendar. Think of it this way. It's not a test, it's not an exam. It's another tool that you're acquiring to make your dreams come true. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon on this channel. And I'm looking forward to reading your comments about your favorite tips from this video. Bye.